We now move on. China has issued a sharp warning to the United States over plans to increase arms sales to Taiwan. Beijing says it firmly opposes any such deals and is calling on Washington to stop immediately. The statement came from China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ling Juan, who reacted to a Reuters report that the Biden administration plans to surpass the Trump era's $18 billion in Taiwan arms sales. Lin called the Taiwan issue China's first red line in relations with the United States, urging America to respect the One China principle and the three joint communiques, especially the August the 17th agreement. Let's take a listen in to what he had to say.
中方坚决反对美国向中国台湾地区出售武器，敦促美方恪守一个中国原则和中美3个联合公报，特别是817公报的规定，停止售台武器，停止制造台海局势紧张因素。中方捍卫国家主权和领土完整的决心坚定不移。
With China increasing military pressure on the self-ruled island, Washington's strategy appears aimed at strengthening Taipei's defensives, but risks further straining ties with Beijing. China says its determination to defend sovereignty and territorial integrity is unwavering. We're now joined by Dr. Roger Liu, who's an assistant professor at the National Sun Yat-sen University, located in Taiwan. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Liu. How is Taiwan reacting to President Trump's plan to ramp up arms sales? Is it seen as a protection or a provocation?
We have been receiving the request and requirement from the U.S. for the past few years, especially to raise the procurement amount of the weapons from current 2.5% to at least 5%. So I think as a small country which has been standing long between the fault line of the new Cold War 2.0 between China and the United States, but I think Taiwan need to raise the bars of the weapon procurement in the amount. So this is actually a response to the recent exclusive story published by the Reuters from two American officials saying that Donald Trump administration is going to increase their arms sale to Taiwan, surpassing even very easily from the first term, which is 18.3 billion. So I think this will be, the government of Taiwan has been preparing for the past few years to in military deployment, including the establishment of the whole society resilience commissions at the presidential office to increase the willingness for the Taiwanese societies to prepare for the possible conflict between China and the U.S., which will spill over to Taiwan.
Yes, and Dr. Liu, do you think Trump's Taiwan strategy is strengthening peace or maybe raising the risk of war with Beijing?
Well, I think in the long term, China and the U.S. has been in a upward spiral in arms sales and security issues. So it's hard to defuse the bomb or the coming conflict or standoff, which is the best scenario between the two great powers. So to increase the arms sales actually has been a long-term policy from the U.S. side towards the Taiwanese side. Although China has been trying to focus on the so-called August 17 communique, which stipulates that the U.S. should reduce the arms sales gradually. However, a U.S. sector has new policies to overpass the August 17 communique, which is like the sixth assurance by Ronald Reagan. after in the 1980s. And actually, the U.S. has been trying to change its policy in the arms sales, especially trying to make Taiwan to comply on the 5% procurement level. So I think that will increase for the future, and this is something that we are going to see for the years to come.
Yes, and do you think that the US can continue to arm Taiwan while claiming it still respects the one China principle? And if you could, Dr. Liu, would you be able to explain just in brief, simple terms what the one China principle is?
Okay. What you have mentioned, that actually is a very important differences. What U.S. has is the one China policy rather than China's one China principle. China's one principle is that the PRC actually is the only legitimate government representing China, and Taiwan is a part of that. However, the U.S. China policy is relatively a vague and flexible policy framework that kind of stipulate the balance between the balance of power between Taiwan and China, and strengthening Taiwan's military capability to defend itself. Especially, the stress of the U.S. China one China policy is that first, the Taiwan problem has to be solved peacefully. Secondly, the Taiwanese people's willingness and the intention has to be fully respected. So that's important, which is very far away from China's one China principle. So I think what the U.S. has been doing is by strengthening Taiwan, U.S. want Taiwan to have more leverage for the future if there is a possibility that Taiwan's issue will be solved either in, we hope, in a peaceful way. When we talk with Beijing, when we negotiate the terms with Beijing, we hope that we are backed by force.
Dr. Roger Liu, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. Well, that is all we have